how to finally escape the dopamine loop. This video is going to be a full unedited video. Plus, I'm going to give you 14 strategies and 14 solutions. Let me show you the slides that I made. I'm going to give you like 14 solutions that you could implement and you would be out of that dopamine loop. But now you might be saying that he's speaking a lot like dopamine loop and this and this and this. But what is exactly a dopamine loop? Let's get right into this. But before that, should you even watch this video? For that, I'm going to ask you one question. What was the last time and when was the last time you went to a washroom without having your phone inside? When was the last time you went into a washroom and you weren't scrolling inside it? When was the last time? If it was not recent, your dopamine levels, your brain and your mind is fucked up and you have to watch this video. But if it was very recent and you have done that like 2 or 3 times, you don't have to watch that video. I'm sorry, but I lost one viewer. Sorry about that. And what's included in this unedited guide? So firstly, we're going to discuss about the core idea, the mental model, like what is actually a dopamine hole, like what actually goes into your mind and what actually happens in your mind, and how does your brain normally works. So how does your brain normally works if it was not into the dopamine hole? And the third one is going to be the trap you keep falling for, the trap that you keep telling yourself that I do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this way. What's the trap that you keep telling yourself? We're going to discuss about that. And the fourth, not the very least, is 14 solutions. It's not 16, man. It's 14 strategies. Yeah. I'm going to give you like just 14 solutions to escape that loop. What's the exact loop? Let's get right into it. Now you might be saying, okay, now you have made some slides, but why should I even listen to you? This is me, by the way, and this is a university's president. I went from doom scrolling first thing in the morning. So you know what I used to do? I used to like get up in the morning without even doing anything, without even like standing up from my bed. I used to like look from my phone. I used to like doom scroll. I used to like fucking scroll on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts for like half an hour a day in the morning. And I used to like destroy my mornings, getting no real work done. And I had, this was like average screen time, but I used to had like 10 hours of screen time every day. And I went from that stage and to now that I'm being productive, I started my social media content business. So there's the YouTube thing that I'm doing. I meet my social media content business. I read like 20 books a year. And if you don't know, this is the book that I'm reading right now. I will also give you update when I'm reading my next book. But the book that I'm reading right now is Marcus Aurelius Meditations. It's a great book, by the way. They should pay me because I'm promoting this in most of my videos. And if you haven't watched all of my videos, it's because you haven't subscribed to me. So my name is Mandeep and my niche is addiction, productivity, attention, and dopamine. So let's get right into it. And if you haven't subscribed, don't subscribe yet. Don't subscribe yet until I prove it to you. And I went from that stage to now that I'm doing just 2 hours, maximum 2.5 hours of screen time in the whole fucking day. So that's why you should listen to me. So let's get right into it. And now you might be thinking, what is the core idea? What is a dopamine hole? You know what? You are not, because you're not able to get any work done. You're not, you when you get up in the morning, you do like the first thing you do is scroll. You know what are you not? You're not ambitionless because you have ambition. You have been, keeping and telling something in your mind that this is the car that I want. This is my dream car. This is my, this is my dream location. This is the house that I want to buy. This is the apartment that I want to buy. I want to gift something to my mom. I want to gift this thing to my dad. You have something in your mind, and you also want to be improving on your own self. That I want to be a good man. I want to be having my values, and I want to be, building my own business. So it's very obvious that you're not ambitionless. You're not into depression because you're watching, unedited, guides like this. You're firstly, I'm going to give you very respect because you have top 1% of attention span. Most of the people, they have might have, already gone from this guide. Maybe they thought like it's going to be a, edited one. But respect to you, but as you're watching this, so it's very obvious that you don't even have depression. You're not even lazy because you're actually watching this. That's what I'm saying, right? You have good attention spans. You're not even lazy. You know what you have done with your own life? You have created a neurological imbalance created by overstimulation. Yeah, I know that it's a lot of words and it's a lot of difficult words. Now you might be thinking like, what is it? Let me tell you something. Every time you scroll on your phone, every time you watch like TikTok or Instagram or like YouTube shorts for like 1 or 2 hours a day, you know what you do? You destroy the normal attention span and your dopamine levels. You destroy your own normal dopamine levels. And let me explain you what do I mean by that. So how does your brain work normally? Before we had the social media and before our attention span was normal, what used to happen? You do something, work gets done. So let's suppose if I, what example should I give you? If I talk about gym, because I'm a gym guy, I see my bicep. When you push a weight, when you do a bicep curl, firstly you do something, the work gets done, the thing that you're pulling, let's suppose it could be a preacher curl, the work gets done, you get praise. Maybe it could be like your friend, it could be like someone else watching you. They're giving you that signal that yes, you have done something, you have achieved something, and you got my respect. You do something, the work gets done, you get praise, and you feel rewarded. You see what I'm doing here? This is what happens, right? You do something, the work gets done, you get a praise, and you feel rewarded afterwards. You have that happy hormone, and you have that dopamine released in your mind that yes, I've done something, and people are rewarding me. That's what you call a normal dopamine level, and that's how your brain actually should work. It's simple as that, right? But what if, what if you get rewarded? What if I give you my respect before you even done that, preacher girl, before you even hit that PR? What if I say, yeah, man, you're the man. You don't have to prove it to me. You're the man. What would happen? Would you feel an urge to, do that again? Would you feel the urge to show me and get my respect, to do that preacher curl? Or it could be like doing that bench press, or it could be like doing that squat rack. Would you feel the need to do that? No, right? So what is actually happening? I'm giving you the reward before you actually done something. Isn't that a loophole? And that's the actual trap that you keep falling for. And now you may be thinking, yeah, I get the gym analogy, but how does this, apply to my social media, or my scrolling or my addictions? How does it apply on here? Let me explain you that too. When you constantly scroll, when you consume junk food, when you have, when you jerk off like 3 or 4 times a day, when you consume porn, when you do sexual novelty, when you have background stimulation all day, you have like listening to music, or be like when you're using a phone, you have YouTube, or it could be like TV running behind, and you're having that background stimulation all day. When you're always eating sugar, the first thing that you eat is sugar, or it could be like you could be like eating sugar whole day long as well. All these, do they require any physical effort? Do they require any actual physical effort that you will be feeling rewarding for? Constantly, give your mind a little think. Do you think all these things could be like constant scrolling, eating junk food, and consuming porn, sexual novelty? So yeah, like seeing new fantasies, or seeing new sexual things on porn, background stimulation all day, and getting those sugar hits. Do you think these require any real physical effort? No, right? It doesn't happen. You just do it, and you get the reward instantly. You don't have to delay your gratification. You don't have to think about that. If I do this right now, maybe I'll get the result in 2 days, or 2 years, or 2 months. You get the reward instantly. That's instant gratification, right? You get the reward instantly. And you get that happy hormone hit right on the spot. You get that dopamine spike right on the spot. But do you think these require any physical effort? No, right? So isn't that a loophole? That's the actual trap, man. And that's what you call dopamine hole. Eventually, your baseline dopamine level rises. That's why when you're scrolling, the first day you scroll for like 10 minutes. The next day you want to be scrolling for just 1 extra minute. It wouldn't be just 10 minutes. You want to be scrolling for 11 minutes. Then you won't be scrolling for the next day, could be like 13 minutes. The next day, 15 minutes. And the next day, you want more and more and more. The next day, it could be like 25 minutes. It could be just double. And it could be like, 30 minutes. That's what your dopamine levels are rising. That's what I'm saying. Your normal baseline dopamine levels are rising. And eventually, you want to be having more things and more things and more things and more things for the same dopamine hit. Do you see what's happening with your mind? That's the exact what I'm saying. You're feeling and you're keeping yourself trapped in your own mind. And you don't feel happy after each work. You want more, 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 more. Is it good or is it bad? You might be thinking, what do you think about this? I'm going to give you 2 seconds to think about this. What do you think about this? Do you think is it good for you or do you think it's bad for you? Obviously, man, It's obviously actually real bad. I explain you why. But before that, if you're liking what you're hearing, subscribe right now. I post content on exactly topics like this. My niche is addictions, attention, dopamine, and productivity. And if you like what you're hearing, first like this video, comment something, comment like, uh, what do you want to be commenting about? Okay, comment four, the letter four. If you're listening to me, comment the letter four and subscribe to me right now. Now, do you think it's bad for you? Of course, it's bad for you, right? And I explain you why. When you're overstimulated, your normal life feels very boring and normal life feels understimulated. It's very simple, right? If you're scrolling for like 30 times, no 30 times, like 30 minutes in the morning, even when you get up in the morning, what's the next thing you have to do? You were scrolling your phone, but you eventually have to enter the real world. What's the first thing you have to do? You have to like brush your teeth, you have to make coffee for yourself, then you have to, wash yourself, you have to like get a shower. Then what do you have to else do? You have to start, starting your day. You have to tick those, the tick marks, or the to-do list that you made for the next day, that these are the things that I want to be doing. Could be like studying, could be like going to a job. Do you think they will be as overstimulating as scrolling was? It was not, right? It will not be. When the first thing you do in the morning is scrolling, your mind got overstimulated. And this is the thing that I say. When you get up in the morning, your attention is at full. The attention is at the maximum. That's what I call attention reset. When you get up in the morning, you have the fullest and the most attention that you could be having in that day. But when you spend that on scrolling, or it could be like doing any other bad activities, could be like consuming porn, it could be like doing eating junk food or sugar spikes in the morning, you get your brain, you make your brain overstimulated, and all the things that you do afterwards, they feel understimulated. And that's the actual trap. It could be like work, it could be like making coffee in the morning, could be like doing gym, could be like reading also feels understimulating to very people. That's why you're not able to read like 2 or 3 pages in one go. People are not even to like read, they're not even able to read one page. They want something. They read like one paragraph and they think, nah, this is boring. Nah, this is boring. Nah, this is boring. It's not boring, man, because I'm also doing it. If someone else can do it and someone else can do it, do you think it's boring? It's not boring, because his dopamine levels are on normal level, and your dopamine levels are on the fucking spike or on the fucking roof. So what do you think would happen? You would find that boring. It could be training, could be studying, could be like building something, could be like building your body, could be like building your own business. You will find all of these things understimulating, and everything feels boring. Then you say, nah, you know what, skip it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, you start procrastinating. You're like, yeah, maybe I'll do it day after tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it next day. Yeah, it's not the deadline today. I'm not getting the deadline today. Why should I do it tomorrow? Why should I do it day after tomorrow? I'll do it right before the deadline. That's what you do. You start procrastinating, and everything feels very pointless. And then you say, why am I even doing this? I want more. You know what? This is not giving me this dopamine hit. Maybe I'll start scrolling again. Maybe I'll start consuming porn again. That's what I'm saying. Your dopamine levels are fucked up, and that's the loop that I was talking about. That's what I call the dopamine loop. And there's the trap that you keep falling for. You might have tried everything: dopamine detox, not scrolling, etc. But what happens? You come back. Silence feels very uncomfortable when you think, like, what if I say to you that I'm not going to say anything? And you have to, like, just stare at a wall for, like, let's suppose 30 minutes. Give me 1 second. You have to stare at a wall for like 10 minutes or, 15 minutes. You're not doing anything, but you just have to stare at the wall. Would you find that uncomfortable? Would you find that boring? You would find that boring, right? And boredom feels painful. You have tried everything. You have tried dopamine detox. That yeah, I'm not gonna be having lots of dopamine spikes in the morning. I have to control my mornings. But what happens? You come back again. You start scrolling again. Your mind feels restless. You say, I'm depressed. Oh, something is wrong with me. Yeah, I'm very sad, man. I can't do this. Yeah, I want more dopamine spikes. No. That's what I call dopamine withdrawal, right? When you think that, yes, I'm going to be doing dopamine, what do you say? The dopamine detox now, and I won't be, touching my phone once until I do all the stuff that I want to be doing, right? That is dopamine withdrawal. You're not giving your brain the dopamine that he wants or that it wants, because your dopamine levels are at this point right now, and your brain wants dopamines at this level. But the work that you're doing is at this dopamine level. So of course your brain will be feeling that it's a dopamine withdrawal, right? But you keep coming back. You get overstimulated and you feel bad. You take a step back, and guess what happens? You don't have any momentum, and you can't go through anything, and you repeat this. That's what happens with you, and that's what I say is the loop. So what's the solution to this? Now you might be thinking, yeah, bro, you have been complaining a lot, you have been yapping a lot, you have been, talking about all these dopamine loops and everything. What's the solution? Are you here to just, talk about my problems, or are you here to like solve my problems? I'm going to tell you this, my friend, I'm here to solve your problems. And the solution is escaping the loop. But what it does not mean, it's not mean that you have to be a monk forever, that you won't be having any fun and you won't be having any pleasure for all of the time. That you have to be, that boring guy that doesn't do anything, that you won't be having any side activities, and you have to be sticking to your work 24/7. I'm not saying, yeah, that you have to do all these things, but what it actually means, and the solutions that I'm about to give you, it means that you have to lower your baseline stimulation. If your dopamine levels are right now at this, and the effort or the work that you want to be doing requires this, then you have to be decreasing these levels at this level. Okay, otherwise you would always feel that dopamine withdrawal, and you would never get that work done. And it means the solution that I'm about to give you, it means that you have to sit through boredom. You have to let your brain reset. You have to let your brain reset for a while, because you think about it, you cannot even go to washroom without carrying your phone. Think about it. That's like how much your dopamine levels are fucked up. You cannot even go to washroom without using your phone, without getting a couple of scrolls. You're not able to do that. So that's what I'm saying. You have to really escape this loop, and you really have to decrease your dopamine levels, and you have to make the small wins really rewardful. You have to give rewards to your own self for even the small wins. Otherwise, you will always be chasing for something big. You will be always chasing for that big dopamine strike or spike. And then first, you know what's gonna happen? Life is gonna feel very dull. You're gonna think, oh man, what am I doing with my life? I'm not enjoying my life. Isn't this the purpose? The purpose is to enjoy your life. All these excuses, your brain is fucking smart. Your brain is going to give you very good excuses. Your brain is going to give you very good excuses that, isn't life's purpose is to enjoy? Time is feeling very slow, but I'm not going to be living in this life like forever, so I should enjoy as much as I can. And your urges are going to spike, and bad thoughts are going to come. But guess what? You don't have to be going back to that. If you go back, then you would be entering the same loop again. But what if you keep on and you keep doing the solutions that I'm about to give you? Your focus is going to return, your work is going to feel very lighter, your satisfaction is going to come, and that satisfaction is going to come from even the little rewards and even the little things that you do. You get more productive, and you can actually do some stuff. And if you, let me remind you, have your water and drink yourself. I was about to say drink yourself. Drink your water. That was not bad, was it? All right, so let's go ahead and explore the solutions. Is this easy? Let me say you. It's not very hard. It's not very hard. It's gonna be a little hard, but it's not very hard. So let's go ahead and see what are the 14 solutions and strategies that I use to keep myself productive all day long. Number one, remove stimulation before adding discipline. Your brain is overstimulated. You don't have to be doing those discipline things, that yes, you have to be focusing on this thing. You don't have to be like using your phone. Firstly, lower your dopamine levels, lower your dopamine base level, then start doing anything, then start adding discipline. Number two, this is the most important thing. This is what I say to every fucking buddy. No phone for 60 minutes after you wake up. You know what? What did you do today? If you woke up, if you're watching this at night, what are you going to do tomorrow morning? If you woke up and you started using your phone right away, this is the concept that I have, that your sleep is your attention reset. You have the maximum attention when you wake up. I told you this, right? You have the maximum attention when you wake up. And if you just don't use your phone, and if you just do the things for first 60 minutes when you wake up, when you stand up, not like just lying on your bed, when you stand up from your bed and you start doing things, and if you use your phone afterwards, after 60 minutes, trust me on this, do this the first thing you're doing tomorrow. What do you have to do? Do your things first, and after that, for the first 60 minutes, you don't have to be using your phone. And after 60 minutes, you will be using your phone. So if you do this, trust me, you will be getting more things done than you have ever done in the past 2 days. Trust me on this. Put your phone on grayscale. I'm not gonna tell you like how to go to the settings, choose this button, choose this button. Go on Google. I'm only here to like give you the message and strategies. Go to Google, see how does your phone work, because different phones work differently. Go to Google, see how to put your phone on grayscale, and you know what's gonna happen? Your phone is gonna be having that black and white color. You won't be seeing any different colors. So even when you open your phone, even when you don't have anything to do, when you open your phone is gonna be like fucking boring as fuck. You'll be saying, "Oh my god, motherfucker, this is black and shit. This is black as shit." That's what she said, isn't it? All right, number 4, delay pleasure and don't delete it. You know what people say? You know what people do? That yeah, if I do this, then I will be having that reward, and that's the best thing. If you do something first, in the first thing, in the first, what am I speaking? In the first 5 days, when you won't be able to do anything, when you have to like control your attention, give yourself some small tasks that if I do this, there's the reward that I'm getting. If I do this, there's the reward that I'm getting. Because you only have to build your momentum. If you don't have your momentum, you won't be doing anything. You have to just build your momentum. And once you build your momentum, you know what's going to happen? You will be able to stick to the things that you say yourself. So, first thing, give yourselves some rewards. Delay your pleasure, but don't delete it. People, you know what they say? That yes, I'm gonna be, becoming a monk now. I won't be dealing with any pleasure. And they just do that for 2 or 3 days. And after that, they don't do anything. It's not that. That's not how it works, guys. Let me tell you. What is it? One, two, three, four, five. Number 5, eat boring meals during work days. When you wake up in the morning, or when you prepare your afternoon or dinner, eat boring meals. Yeah, you don't have to be getting the sugar spikes all the time. The next is one screen at a time. This is also very important, because if you're watching TV, just focus on TV. If you're watching your phone, just focus on phone. If you have to be just using or scrolling, if you have to be doing scrolling, why are you like playing your TV? It doesn't even make any sense to me. The next is work in silence once per day. What am I doing right now? I'm not like scrolling right away. What am I doing? I have my camera in front of me. I have this laptop and this mic in front of me. I have this light over here, and my whole room is dark. I'm working in silence once per day. This is the goal that I have to hit. That once every day I work in silence. Could be like journaling. It could be like reading a book. It could be anything, but work in silence once per day. Schedule boredom intentionally. You know what things that you get bored of. It could be like reading, it could be like sitting alone, it could be like writing, it could be like fucking staring at a wall. Schedule that, even for 5 minutes or even for 1 minute. Schedule that. It could be like sitting at a wall and doing nothing, not even like having something in your hand that you're counting. It could be like it could be like anything that could be distracting you. You don't have to be doing anything. Just sit alone and schedule your boredom intentionally. Let's go for the next one. Gym without headphones. This is just a basic one. If you listen to music all day, even when you're working out, what's the purpose? You're giving yourself stimulation. Read physical books. If you have to read some books, and if you have some money that you want to be spending on yourself, buy physical books. You're not that fucking poor, okay? Get some shifts, get a part-time job, buy physical books, and don't read it online. I was reading a book. What was the name of the book? The name of the book was The Way of a Superior Man. I'm not saying the book was not good. The book was really good, but I downloaded it from some website on my laptop. I read it for like 1 or 2 chapters, and after that, I just got bored. It wasn't about the book. It was just about the platform that I was reading on, because I'm also reading this book. It's way bigger than that book. It has like 400 or 500 pages, 48 laws of power. But you know what I don't do? I don't get bored, because I underline the stuff that I like. I highlight the lines or the quotes that I like. And on laptop, I cannot do that. The next thing is shorten your social media sessions. Schedule your social media sessions. That I will only be using social media for like 3 times a day, and it's gonna be like just 30 minutes, 30-minute sessions. It could be like In the morning when I've done all the things that I had to do in my morning routine. It could be like in the afternoon, 30 minutes in the afternoon. It could be like at the 3 p.m. And after that, it could be like at night before, like 2 hours or 3 hours before sleeping. Schedule your social media sessions. Sleep at the same time at the every day. And if you're sleeping at the same time, it means that you would be waking up at the same time every day. Sleep at the same time every day. I can't emphasize enough on this, but you have to be. I'm not saying sleep at 9 or sleep at 10. Pick a time that works according to you and start sleeping at the same time every day. Start walking. Start fucking walking. Walk with your buddy, get a girlfriend, get your mother or father. Start walking. Just fucking walk anywhere for like 20 or 10 or 20 minutes, then come back without using a phone. Just talk to people, because over here, the first thing we have to do is, that's what I told you. Motherfucker, we have to build momentum. You don't have momentum. That's what we have to build. Number I don't know what number something. Start writing. Start writing. Could be like journaling. It could be like writing anything that happened in your day. It could be like anything that you're grateful of. It could be like anything, but you have to start writing, because writing is one of those things that doesn't give you any dopamine spike. So if you're able to write every day, you will be able to build your momentum. One line to remember over here is, you don't escape the dopamine loop by feeling better. You know how you escape it? You escape it by tolerating discomfort. Let's suppose if I give you $1 million, but you had to sit alone in a room for like 10 minutes a day, you would be able to do it, right? But for the first, let's suppose 10 days, you would not be finding it very easy. You would have to be what? You have to be doing what? You have to be like setting. You would be like getting all these different thoughts, like, yeah, maybe I should do this, maybe I should use my phone. But the task is, you don't have to be doing anything. So what you would be doing to win that $1 million, you will be tolerating discomfort, right? So if you tolerate discomfort, and if you tolerate your discomfort in this scenario, you will be escaping that dopamine loop. And now go and do something productive with your life. Make some money, work on your business, work on your body, work on your relationship. Could be like working on your friendships. If you like this video, like it. Of course, right? Bro, like you have like listened to all these strategies, and now you're saying I'm not gonna like this video. I'm gonna give you a fucking e-punch from this camera. Subscribe this YouTube channel if you want to be, watching more content. Subscribe it. Comment what you want next, what card you want next, and if you want to be checking my ebook, Attention Before Anything, it's in the link in the bio. Check that out, and see you tomorrow.